Okay, good morning, students. Today, let's solve some more problems on fluid mechanics. Question number 16. A fluid is undergoing streamline flow, then the velocity of any molecule is same, or the pressure is same at all the points, or the velocity at a given point is same, or the velocity at all the points is same. Okay, what he has asked is, he just asked a fluid, if a fluid is undergoing a streamline flow, okay, if a fluid is undergoing a streamline flow, then the velocity of any molecule is same, or the pressure is same at all the points, or the velocity at a given point is same, or the velocity at all the point is same. The right answer is, if a fluid is undergoing a streamline flow, then the velocity at a given point is same at all the time interval. That is what the meaning of a streamline flow. Then 17th question. An incompressible fluid flows through a pipe of non-uniform cross-sectional area as shown in the figure. If A1 and A2 are the area of cross section at A and B, okay, at A and B, V1 and V2 are the velocities at A and B, then the ratio of V1 by V2 is equal to. The question is very simple and hence the answer is also very simple. Here you can see an incompressible fluid flows through a pipe of non-uniform cross-sectional area. You can see in this image here. And if A1 and A2 are cross-sectional area at A and at B, here the area is A1, here the area is A2, and here the velocity is V1 and here the velocity is V2, then which among the following expression is right, he asked. Here the third option is right, because we have already studied about the continuity equation. According to this continuity equation, we can write as A1 V1, okay, A1 V1 equal to A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. So according to this formula, the option number 3 is right answer. And 18th question, Bernoulli's principle is derived on the basis of law of conservation of energy, momentum, or mass, or angular momentum. Which one is right here? Option number 1 is right, because the Bernoulli's principle is derived on the basis of law of conservation of energy. The 19th question, a person standing on a railway platform close to a fast moving train always has a tendency to fall towards the train. This is a consequence of. Very interesting question. Let me read out once again. A person standing on a railway platform close to a fast moving train always has a tendency to fall towards the train. Then this is the consequence of whether the Newton's third law of motion, or Archimedes principle, or Bernoulli's principle, or none of the above. The right answer is Bernoulli's principle. Okay, let me explain what exactly happens when a fast moving train passes in front of a man who is standing at a railway platform. Okay, let us assume here is a man who is standing, okay, near a railway platform. Okay, this is the platform, you can assume. Okay, when train moves on this railway platform, what happens is, whatever the air particles will be there, no, between the man as well as train, what happens, train will drag all the air molecules between man and the train. Okay, when a train passes in front of a man who is standing on a platform, all the air molecules which are there between man and train will be dragged away. Then when all these air molecules dragged away, what happens is, here train creates a vacuum. When train drags all the air molecules between man and the train, what creates is, here vacuum will be created. So vacuum is nothing but it is very less in pressure, but here behind the man the pressure will be more. Behind the man pressure will be more because the here air particles are more, but between man and train air particles will be less. Why? Because whatever the train which will come, no, it will drag away all the air particles between the man and train. That's why here the less number of air molecules means here train creates a vacuum. That's why a man will always feel that he is pulled or he is being pulled by the train when a fast moving train passes near to him. So that's why this is a clear reason is that Bernoulli's theorem. Here what we can study is that using Bernoulli's theorem we can justify this phenomena. That's why option number 3 is right here. Then question number 20. When air is blown between the two light balls suspended close to each other, the two balls will whether move apart, move close to each other, remain stationary, or either move close or apart. Actually the answer is it is move close to each other. Okay, move close to each other. The answer is move close to each other. When air is blown between the two light balls suspended close to each other, let us assume this is these are two light balls suspended okay, close to each other. Okay, two light balls suspended each other. Okay, let me erase this first. Okay, two light balls, okay, suspended very close to each other. When air is blown between these two balls, what happens is both the balls will move close to each other. Why these balls will move close to each other? Okay, instead of being apart, instead of going apart, why these balls will move towards one another is when air is blown between these two balls, what happens is here there is a vacuum will be created. Okay, when air is blown between these two balls, a vacuum will be created here. So in between these two balls, vacuum is nothing but it is a very less in pressure. It is a pressure will be very less compared to atmosphere. Here the pressure will be atmospheric pressure, okay, around the balls, but when you blown the air here the pressure will be less. It creates a vacuum here. That's why ball will move close to each other. So answer number 2, move close to each other. 21st question. A gale blows over the roof of a house. The force on the roof due to gale is, first option, in the downward direction, second option in the upward direction, third option in the direction of the gale, and fourth option it is 0. The right answer is option number 2. Actually what is the meaning of gale is nothing but it is a fast moving wind. Okay, gale is nothing but it is a fast moving wind. When a fast moving wind or when wind is having a high velocity or high velocity wind blows over the roof of a house, the force on the roof due to the gale is, because of this high wind, what is the direction of the force on this roof? Okay, let us assume this is okay, house, and fast moving air is moving in this direction. Let us assume the wind is blowing over this house, and when wind blows over this house, what happens is it take away this, whatever the fast moving wind is there, no, it takes away all the air particles above this roof. Okay, it takes away all the air particles above this roof. So what happens is obviously here it creates a less pressure, which means that it creates a vacuum here, and that's why the direction of the force on the roof is upward direction, here in this direction. So option number 2 is right answer here. Then 22. A cylindrical vessel open at the top contains 20 liters of water. A small hole is provided at the bottom of the vessel so that water drains out. 10 liters of water drains out in a time interval of t1 and the next 10 liters at time t2. Then which one among these four options is right one? Whether time t1 is equal to time t2, whether t1 is less than time t2, whether time t1 is more than time t2, or none of these above. Okay, the question is simple here. Okay, let me draw a small diagram. Here it is a container, let us assume, and in this container, okay, 20 liters of water is present, or this container is filled with 20 liters of water. A small hole is provided at the bottom. Okay, a small hole is provided at the bottom of the vessel so that water drains out. 10 liters of water will be drained out at first t1 second, and another remaining 10 liters of water will be drained out at time t2. Then which one among the following is the right answer? Whether time t1 is equal to time t2, whether time t1 is less than time t2, whether time t1 is more than time t2, or none of these above. The answer is, let me answer why. Actually answer number option number 2 is right answer. Time taken at time t2 is more than time t1, which means that time taken at the remaining 10 liters of water is more than the time taken to drain away first 10 liters of water, because when first 10 liters of water drains out, there will be a more potential energy compared in second 10 liters of water. So that's why answer number 2 is right option, which is time taken to drain out for second 10 liters or remaining 10 liters is more than first 10 liters, because the speed of water through hole is given first this formula. First let me explain this formula. Okay, the speed of water through the hole is given by this formula, which is v equal to under root 2 into gh. In this formula you can clearly observe here h term is nothing but height of water in a vessel. Okay, when height of water in a vessel is more, then velocity will be more. Okay, when height of vessel in a water is more, then obviously velocity will be more. In first case, first t1 time, or in first time taken for first case, which means the time taken to drain out the first 10 liters of water. Here in this case, first case h will be more because the vessel is filled with 20 liters of water. That's why in first t1 time the height of the water will be more. That's why the v1 will be more. That means that velocity will be more. But in second case what happens is h will be reduced because it is reduced to 10 liters. In second case, as height of the liquid column is less and velocity will be less. That's why in second case the time taken to drain out remaining 10 liters of water will be more. And that's why the option number 2 is right answer, which is T2 is more than T1. 23rd question. The free surface of a liquid at rest always tends to acquire minimum surface area due to viscosity, pressure, surface tension, or gravitational force. The right answer is surface tension. Clear? The free surface of a liquid at rest always tends to acquire minimum surface area due to surface tension. We know the surface tension is force per unit length. So Newton per meter. That's the meaning of surface tension. Then 24th question. Insects can walk on the surface of water because they are very light, or they can swim on water, or of the upthrust or of the surface tension. Insect can walk on the surface of water easily because of the surface tension of the water. Okay, because of the surface tension of the water. And 25th question. Mercury does not wet glass. Mercury doesn't wet the glass because the angle of contact is obtuse, or the adhesive force is more, or the cohesive force is more, or option number 4, both 1 and 3. Actually the right answer is both 1 and 3, because The mercury doesn't wet the glass because the angle of contact between mercury as well as glass is also less, which means obtuse. And this third one is also right, which is the cohesive force is more. Cohesive force is more means mercury doesn't stick to other materials very easily. So that's why the option number 4 is right answer. Both first and 3 are right. Mercury doesn't wet the glass because the angle of contact is obtuse as well as the cohesive force is more.